what else did I do today? Yeah, anyway, that took so long. Is that a beastie? I better not be a beastie. That's not a beastie, we're okay. That took so long that we were supposed to be going to SoftBank today to get a mobile phone. I think I told you a little bit about it. But we didn't have enough time. So we had to go to this town. Well, Nanto's a city made up of 5 towns, and we had to go to one of the other towns to meet the head of the Board of Education. And when we got there, all 4 of us were there. Twan, the American, Nick, the English guy, and Matt. Oh, poor Matt. Twan and Nick live in the same street. It's about a 5-10 minute walk, but nothing major. I'm across the other side of the same town. I think if I was to walk it, I don't know, there's probably a quicker way, but if I was to walk the route the car takes, it would probably be about an hour. In fact, no, I'm probably overestimating that. It's probably only about half an hour. But I've not had a chance to go and have a wander yet, so when I've got a chance, I'll go and take a wee trip down, see how far away. Apparently, they went out on because the 2 of them are so close. They swapped addresses, and apparently they went out Saturday night when they got here and found a pub. Already, they now have the local. They went in again on Sunday, and they did a little bit of karaoke. And some woman who apparently kept telling them to call her, what was it? Oh, I can't remember her name. He kept calling her Kamikaze Mama. Something like Mitsu Mama. She kept saying, "Call me Mitsu Mama, call me Mitsu Mama." She could barely speak any English, and she kept feeding them with food and didn't charge them for any, and they were like, alright, brilliant. But it was really weird stuff. Apparently they had like jellied egg and really weird stuff. Kind of glad I wasn't there, because I wouldn't have been able to eat any. But yeah, so they've been living it up. I've been waiting patiently for my luggage, which should come tomorrow. Although I did have a slip. I gave the IC woman the phone number and says, "Can you phone them? I'll find out where my luggage is." And so she says, "Oh, sorted, it'll come tomorrow." And I was like, brilliant. I said, "Well, I said, sir, can you get it to come tonight?" And she was like, "Oh, I'll see what I can do." But I heard her say Ashta, which is tomorrow. And then when she came off the phone, she said, tomorrow. I was like, okay. But then I came home and there was a thing in my mailbox saying that they'd been today, and I wasn't in. Which I wasn't. It was very upsetting. But yeah, they couldn't have been long after I left, actually, because we came back in here after lunch. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, the other ALT is Matt. Now Matt is the unlucky sod that's halfway up the mountain. Literally. He's Canadian. I think they thought, oh, he'll be used to it. His IC quit the day before he got here, so he's got nobody to show him about or anything like that. So the head of the IC women's was the Raw Housewives. It was so funny. We came through a departure lounge and they were all holding up this big sign saying interact, and they started jumping and waving as soon as they seen us. It was so funny. But yeah, so the head of the IC women got him sorted, took him to his house and all that, which the rent was very, very cheap. And he says, but, you know, he says that's because I have to furnish it. He's on 20,000 yen, which is £100 a month. But he had to furnish it from scratch. So, I mean, there was nothing, no fridge, nothing. So he's had to buy a fridge, freezer, a washing machine, everything, basically. But yeah, literally halfway up the mountain. 2 of his schools are in walking distance though, but one of them is about an hour's walk. And our cars, we can't get our cars until they have our alien registration documents. So it's going to be about a week and a half, maybe possibly 2 weeks, till we see the cars. So he's stranded, basically, halfway up a mountain nothing to do unless somebody comes and gets him and takes him somewhere. He's got meetings to make and there's nobody to show him about, and he needs to get more shopping, he needs to, just little things, you know. Oh, the poor soul. But anyway, so we were at city offices with the meeting of the Board of Education heads, the honcho, except from, turns out, it was like, oh yeah, not there. So we had a meeting with the vice principal, I don't know, you'd call him vice principal, but like his deputy. Basically, we sat down, everybody else stood up, and he talked at us, and then somebody translated in the background, and he kept making jokes, and obviously none of us knew the language well enough to get the jokes, so we're all sitting there going, ha, ha. And then when when all the Japanese people started laughing, we just started laughing. That's so funny. But yeah, basically we introduced ourselves to so many people. We don't know anybody's name. But they were taking a lot of pictures as well. We're going to be in the newspaper. And apparently at some point we're also going to be on the television. Oh yeah, living it up. Because Toyama, the area that I'm in, is a very rich area because it's very rural. It's all farmland. Well, not all farmland, but mostly farmland. So there's less people per square mile here than anywhere else in Japan. And it's quite rich. And they spend a lot of money on education. Education is one of the first things that they spend their money on in here. So this deal with Interect's a big deal. So there's going to be publicity. Oh yeah, don't you just love that? Luckily it wasn't today, because you should have seen the state of all of us. Nick turned up with 100 yen tie, which is 50 pence. 50 pence tie. And do you know, you'd never be able to tell. I couldn't believe it. And trainers with his suit. Twan looked as if he was going to a funeral, and Matt just had that kind of, I'm in the middle of a mountain look about him, and I was dying of the heat. Oh, we were a right bunch. Yeah. But